Good evening, guys. Chris here again. Just wanted to kind of go on a bit of a rant here. Nothing usually related to the MGTOW thing, but this has to do with the whole COOF thing. Right now, I'm just on my way to a job that I've been working on the side of my other job to help get a neighbor into their home before Christmas. So what you're looking at right there is our community fire hall. Now, I live on the outskirts of a small city, so because of where our location is, we have to have our own fire department and basically be self-sustained in that sense. And this fire hall here is completely run by volunteers. My son's grandfather is actually the fire chief, and he's been a member of this fire department for essentially 22 years. He basically built this new building, got them all their equipment, and a lot of it he paid for up front and got reimbursed on once the CRD kind of got around to it. So without him, this whole operation would have closed down or be in a worse situation than it's in right now. But yeah, I guess I've been trying to make this video for about a week, because that's when we first got the news that the community fire department was going to be on the list for mandated vaccines. And it finally came out yesterday that it is in fact the case, and it's no longer speculation, and this fire hall is going to be closed because most of the members, like I said, they are volunteers and they don't want to take the vaccine. So on our community forum, of course, being in the outskirts in the mountains, small farming community, we're surrounded by forests, and essentially fires, well, especially forest fires, start around here before the snow is off the ground. And this fire department alone gets about 60 calls a year, if not more, and a majority of it is related to residentials. So we do have quite a few houses that burn down around here, and it's not always to do with forest fires, but they generally can spread to become forest fires. On our community forum, of course, in the last couple years, there's been a lot of liberals from down around the Victoria area that have moved up here, trying to do the whole I live in the wilderness kind of thing, and always got to throw in their 2 cents worth. Well, there's a couple on here that have basically stated that it shouldn't matter if the volunteers want to take the vaccine or not. They should be forced to, so that they can be there to save their ass when fire season starts. So yeah, just hold on to that thought. Run it through your head a few times. That's not going to be the case. And in fact, like I said, the announcement was made yesterday that this fire hall will be shutting down due to a lack of vaccinated volunteers. Most of the guys do this as a side gig, and just because they're in the community, they try to help out. The fire chief, who, like I said, is my son's grandfather, he's essentially one of the only full-time members. So this was going to be essentially his, nice, small, but, convenient retirement plan. They do pay out a decent chunk for the fire chief once he's retired. So he has been asked to step down, and has been suspended without pay. And it's most likely he's going to lose that retirement package after 22 years of service. Now that we have a new variant that has popped up in South Africa, well, we've seen what's happened to them, where they won't buy any more of the vaccines or don't need them. The U.S. government has basically shut them down, placed essentially an embargo on them. And here in Alberta, now they're saying it's crossed over into wildlife, so the deer are all infected with COVID. So it kind of makes me wonder what they're planning on doing with the deer. Are they going to vaccine all the deer, or are they going to euthanize them, or what? But with all the information that's come out, and at this point, knowing what we know, it's quite clear that this is a farce. It's a smokescreen. We, here in Canada, we have concentration camps built, just like they do in Australia. The Liberal government basically used a isolated incident to try to ban all firearms here, and they probably will in the end. And yeah, they are basically installing I believe they refer to it as a draconian dictatorship. And the biggest question I've got to ask is, this is a small community. Right now, we're just in the set of winter. It's just started. We actually had a Chinook blow in and melt all of our beautiful snow, and we're just getting a little more back now. But what's going to be the plan for when spring hits, and in May we start having forest fires? I mean, I've stated on the forum that, once it comes down to it, I'm basically going to pop some popcorn and sit back and watch as your house burns down and there's no fire department to come save you. I'm not going to get paid to do it, so I'm not doing it. It's basically speaking to those liberal people that believe that the fire departments should all take the vaccine. And yeah, that didn't go over too well with them. I mean, I've been called a lot of things in my time, paranoid and all kinds of things like that. Conspiracy theorists. Well, we were called that at the start of this whole pandemic, and a lot of that conspiracy theory started to come true pretty damn quick. Well, it's not a theory anymore, it's just the facts. Once this valley starts burning, like it did this past summer, and this is actually not the only fire station that's going down. There's quite a few just in this area that are also going to be shut down. Now you're going to be reliant completely on forestry groups, which really only tackle like the main part of forest fires. Here they have to get so big before they're even called in to actually do anything. They don't even start to mobilize until it's about the size of a hectare or two. That's what these groups were for. The small spot fire kind of thing, if need be. This past summer, we had essentially a tiny fire that started by a highway after a car accident. That they'd actually tried to put out, citizens that were on the road tried to put this fire out, and they were told not to because that wasn't their job. And that's actually what started one of the major fires that burnt out an entire city here. So that's the kind of response time we're gonna have now. If I were to light a fire right next to this building, nobody's coming to put it out unless they're coming from the nearby cities. And even they may not come out. So the people in these small rural areas are fucked. And as far as I'm concerned, to the people that live out here that believe everybody should take this vaccine because do what your government told you, and hail to our glorious leader Justin Trudeau and Dr. Fauci's. Those people should be shunned from this city or this area and walked out of town, just like we did with the women that used to sleep with the German officers in other countries. They need to have their heads shaved, a big A painted on them, and kicked the fuck out of town and made to walk. Because now everybody in this valley and other areas that are just like ours are all at risk. All because nobody in that hall wanted to take the vaccine. And the only people they put at risk, if this is a risk, is the other people in that hall. So, yeah, we've essentially shut down for nothing. But anyway, before this gets too long, like I said, I didn't know how to exactly word it, but fuck it. It is what it is. And to be honest with you, I am not really looking forward to this summer, because if they don't get this overturned, it's only going to take one spark and this whole valley will go up before anybody ever comes from anywhere else to actually put it out. So I don't know, gentlemen, when is enough enough, I guess? Like, we all talk about the whole non-violence thing, but I have never seen a war fought that didn't lead to violence. Not one. And if it's a war for your freedom, when is enough enough? Personally, we could start the two-way rifle range tomorrow, and I am all in. Fully agree. We have to take back control of our lives and our countries immediately, because these politicians and pharmaceutical companies have all gone too far. And there's a reason why they want to disarm us, is because they know that if it came down to it, they can't beat us. There's 150 times more of us than there are of them. So, with that said, gentlemen, think about what's coming to your area soon, and look out for yourselves, and I would say prepare for the worst, because it is definitely coming. Y'all have a good one. Thanks.